Haiti has been relevant to the United States ever since Haitians overthrew the French during their revolution. In subsequent years after the revolution, the Caribbean country played a major role in the development and expansion of the United States. These days, the current cocktail of negative stories coming out of Haiti makes one to believe that these stories have always been Haiti's history. That is not so. Haiti has a glorious history. It began as a pace setter. It was the one and only republic that was successful in overthrowing slavery as a political, social, and economic system. Haiti was the colony in the French Empire, and it was the jewel colony in this French Empire. Initially, however, it was Spain that stole the land from the indigenous peoples, laying claim through Christopher Columbus's lost voyage in 1492. The French, mostly through force and the trade in human beings, commonly referred to as the slave trade, eventually took over and colonized the area to create what will become France's biggest economic engine. No other French colonial entity made as much fortune for France as Haiti did, and enslaved Africans did all the work. The French Revolution of 1789 ironically ushered in the Haitian Revolution, which effectively started in 1791 and finally succeeded in 1804. As you know, the French Revolution was about liberty, fraternity, and equality. Well, how can you popularize these notions but continue to control a whole colony? And the Haitians picked that up and made it their own cry for liberation. Toussaint Louverture and Jean-Jacques Dessalines led the revolt. Haiti became the first African former slaveocracy that succeeded anywhere in the world. Indeed, Haiti became a beacon for all free-loving enslaved peoples who yearned to be free throughout the Americas. Haitian independence had an immediate impact on the fledgling United States of America. France was so well defeated that it ended up selling a large chunk of its empire to the United States. This was what is famously known as the Louisiana Purchase, a transaction that doubled the size of the United States at the time. For much of its first years in existence, therefore, Haiti was an inspiration for hope, rebellion, and liberation among enslaved peoples all over the place.